Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome all. As you all know, OCI has 5 specialty groups on the Facebook, and we keep on conducting monthly webinars in these groups. So they are free to join. You can join them on the Facebook and attend these webinars for free. So today's talk is for our dispensing optometry specialty group. And basically, when we are troubleshooting complaints regarding to new pair of glasses, there are several possible issues that might arise from the patient or the customer. So today's topic will give you some common solutions and troubleshooting steps to address such common complaints. And to give this talk, we have Mr. Prashant Bhatkar with us today. Prashant is a seasoned optometrist and a distinguished learning and development professional in the eye care industry with extensive experience in the leading government, corporate, and community eye care initiatives. He has consistently driven projects with measurable business outcomes. His passion for inclusive vision care is evident in his work with children with special needs. Recognized for his dedication, Prashant was nominated as Clinical Director for the Opening Eyes program of Special Olympics India in 2008. Currently, he serves as the Professional Services Head at Nikon Lenswear India, where he continues to shape advancements in vision care and professional excellence. So welcome, Prashant. I would like to hand over the session to you now. Over to you.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Arshada. Let me share my PowerPoint.
Yes.
I hope the screen is visible. Arshada, is it
Yes,
visible?
it's
Yeah.
visible. Yes.
And
Yeah,
is
perfect.
my audio good enough
Yes,
for you to?
it's perfect. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, great. So a very good afternoon to all of you. And thank you, Harshada, for the wonderful introduction that you gave. So obviously today we are here to discuss about troubleshooting new glass complaints. And I always feel that troubleshooting new glass complaints is one aspect where we get to practice our problem solving skills. Every optometrist, every optician, or every eye care practitioner, is working to solve one of the major critical problems, that is blurred vision. And it doesn't end there. Even after giving a pair of glass, even after giving a pair of spectacles, we do come across patients and customers, consumers who are not comfortable with their glasses. And there are multiple reasons for it. And we all seem to have our own methods and processes of solving these problems. So today I'll just share some insights on what I have learned over a period of years about troubleshooting glasses and how do I solve these problems. So, the better solution to many problems that across all industries is to keep peeling back the layers to find the root cause. I think this is a basic fundamental of troubleshooting, is to identify the root cause, because unless you know what is the reason for the customer complaint, it would be incorrect to jump onto some conclusion. So the idea is to identify the problems. Let me start with a question for the participants, and I would really thank everybody if you can contribute to these questions and participate and write your answers in the chat box. So my first question to the participants is, what is the most common complaint you hear from patients about your glasses? What is it? What is it that you have seen in your patients, about new glasses? Yes, can you write that in your chat box? If I can have uh, the answers in your chat box, that would be great. Yeah,
Participants, you can answer it in the chat box. Yes.
so I can wait. So I could read somebody has answered. Uh, Let me see. Adaptation with new progressive
Yeah.
additional lenses.
Headaches
Yeah,
and concentration,
concentration.
adaptation.
Akhil has answered adaptation. Okay, great. Somebody has answered headache. Perfect. Sanket has answered headache. Nice. Dry eyes. Then customers say that the glasses are not adjustable. You gave me glasses. I I just can't adjust to those glasses. Distorted image. Hussein has written pulling sensation. Yeah, sometimes patients say that I feel my glasses are pulling, it's too heavy, right? Somebody has written heavy, annoying, uncomfortable, not comfortable with glasses. Yeah, nice. So somebody has written, Nani has written, not comfortable with intermediate zones. So sometimes you have patients who are very specific, and they may come up with the proper explanation that the glasses are not good for far, or the glasses are okay, but when I read something, I'm not happy with it. So we come with these detailed examples. Slipping down of glasses. Jyoti has written a very good example that the glasses are fine, but the moment I wear them, they just slip off the nose. Something related to the way the glasses fit on my eyes. Really nice. Floaters. Anita has written floaters. Great. Thank you. Thank you for answering these questions. Increased brightness. Yes, great. So perfect. I think we do come across these complaints of just give me a second. Is my presentation moving, Harshada?
Mm. Prashant.
No, just give me a second. Okay. All right. So I think you guys have really answered it right. Blurred vision, distortion, discomfort, headache, and there is a huge list that can follow on, to cover up the complaints that our patients and our customers have, specifically when they're not comfortable with the glasses. And it's necessary that you understand these complaints. It's not that you only listen to that, but the first and foremost principle of any troubleshooting is to listen to your patient, listen to your customer, and understand these patient complaints and try to bucket them. And how do you bucket them? The first kind of complaint is vision related. So, like a lot of you have answered that, patients complained of blurred vision, or the vision is okay, but there is distortion on the side of the glasses. There is on the side, I can't see things at play. When I'm walking, I feel things are moving. Or patients come up with complaints of, I can see something for far, I can also see what is for near, but I just find it difficult to adjust to the glasses. The moment I wear the glasses, after half an hour, I want to remove the glasses. So I find it difficult to adapt to the glasses. So the first kind of complaint can be related to the patient's vision. The second kind of complaint can be related to the patient comfort. So you can have complaints related to comfort. For example, somebody said that, the glasses are slipping down my nose. Or I may say that I have pain behind my ear. So you might just identify that the glasses are too tightly fitted. The bend of the temple is not right. Or I'm not comfortable with the new kind of nose pads which are used in a frame. So it could be multiple sort of reasons why I may have comfort related issues. The glasses are heavier than the earlier glasses. The new frame has a facial wrap, though it is a little tight on my face. I'm not comfortable. So it can be multiple reasons which are related to comfort. And the third kind of complaints could be others. And when I say others, it could be related to coatings. That probably you gave me glasses. I'm very happy with the vision. I'm able to adjust to the glasses, but the glasses get smudged every now and then. And every half an hour or 40 minutes, I have to keep cleaning the glasses. So I'm not happy with the kind of coating that is there on the glasses. Or a lot of times these days, patients and customers are not happy with the aesthetics. So when I say eyewear aesthetics, it means I'm not happy with the thickness. I may come to you saying that the glasses are okay, but my previous glasses are much thinner than these glasses. So you made a good pair of glass, I can see well, but look at the thickness, more thicker than the my earlier pair of lens. So I'm not happy with the aesthetic of the lens, or I may feel that the glasses. The moment I wear glasses, my eyes look smaller, but my eyes look magnified. So I'm not okay with the aesthetics of the lens. Sometimes patients may also come with complaints related to tints. That I ordered a certain kind of a tint, but the glasses that you gave me are a little more darker or a little more lighter than that. Some patients are not comfortable with certain kinds of lens materials. I found that at times there are patients who are not comfortable with a 1.59 index, or patients who are already using a high index lens and you give them a new pair of glass, but the new pair of glass is not a high index, they're not comfortable with that. So there are multiple other factors which can be explained by patients as their complaints. Last but not the least, it is also got to do with patient psychology. But sometimes everything is right. It is just that the patient bought a pair of eyeglass from you, and I went back to my house, and somebody from my house or home or my family or friends, they said that, I didn't like the frame you got. It's not a good color. What are you wearing? It's not really looking great on your face. And then suddenly I want to find reasons to return these glasses. I obviously cannot come back to you and say that, I bought this frame, but now I don't want this. So I will find some or the other reason and, will just return the glass, and I'll say I'm not comfortable or there's some problem. And whereas when you check, you might not find anything. So sometimes it is also related to patient psychology. Why we are doing this is that once we identify the complaint, once we bucket it, whether it is related to vision or whether it is related to the comfort or there are other factors, it is easy to find, or it would be more, systematic to find the right solution for this problem. So I'm sure you all have heard these kinds of complaints. The idea is to bucket them, whether these complaints are related to vision, whether these complaints are related to comfort, or the complaint falls under any other category like coatings, materials, aesthetics, or patient psychology. So I'm going to have a case study, for you to again just write some answers about this case. So I want you to pay attention and just take a minute or less than that just to understand what this case is about. And I will, of course, share what we did for this particular patient. But it was a little complicated sort of a troubleshooting for us. So let me go and share this. It's a 55-year-old uh, hyperopic patient, and he was using a 1.5 diopters reading glasses for near. Okay, it was a 55-year-old uncle who was wearing his reading glasses. I'm sure this is a common scenario in your clinics, at your optician, at your practice. I'm sure you've seen a lot of patients walking into the store, to the clinic, wearing reading glasses. And he was no different than that. He was wearing a 1.5 diopter reading glasses. He came to the clinic and he hasn't had an eye examination in the last 10 years. Okay. Again, quite common. You see a lot of patients in India uh, don't really go for the regular eye examinations. Once they buy some reading glasses and they're comfortable, their vision is clear, they really don't want to go back to a doctor, or they really don't want to go back to any optician or optometrist or ophthalmologist. They just believe that everything is good and everything is perfect with my eyes. So this person was using 1.5 diopters reading glasses. He did not go for a detailed eye checkup for last 10 years. It was his birthday. So his son got him to the clinic because his son wanted to buy a new pair of glasses for his father. So, he just walks in. He also wears these glasses in his office. He has a small business, somewhere in Mumbai, and he wears these reading glasses and just walks around in the office, does his reading, just does all his work that is required to be done in that, small office of his. So that's how he's using his glasses. And when he was examined in an eye clinic, when his son got in for an eye examination because he wanted to gift him a new pair of glasses for his birthday. The refraction was this. It was right eye plus 1.75. The vision was 6.6 or 6.6 part. Yeah, the left eye was 1.75 again. The vision was 6.6 part. And he was accepting an addition of 1.5. Okay, he preferred to use an addition of 1.5, and he was reading well. The N6 was a little more better. He was much more comfortable on the clinical refraction in the clinical room, in the room where we do our eye examination. This was the finding. The refraction was done by the optometrist, and then of course there was an optical store attached to it. He goes back to the optical store and orders a pair of glasses. Now, for a moment, I want you to stop here. I want you to just go through what I just said, and I have a question for all of you, and I would request you all to participate and write your answers and responses. If you were at the dispensing table and you had to take a call on what you are going to dispense this patient, what prescription you're going to dispense this patient. Uh, and if you have somebody who's saying that, I'm willing to pay what it takes, I want the best glasses for my father, which is birthday, I want to give him a great pair of glasses. What would you, what would you do? What would you suggest? This is the refraction. This is what he's wearing. I want you to write in the chat box. What is it that you would do? Would you prescribe the full correction? What classes would you prescribe, and how would you go about this particular case? So I can, so that we can have a discussion of what we did, what has to be done. Okay, I have an answer from Rakesh. He says, I will not prescribe the full correction for distance. Great. Can I have some more answers? Can you guys just keep typing? Okay, so Rakesh, can you just elaborate a little more? What would you like to do? And all others also, can you guys just, write what you would do? This is the patient. You have the case in front of you. What is that? Dhanalakshmi has to write, need full eye examination. Okay, Dhanalakshmi feels that pura app check karo, uska sab, you examine the retina and all. Okay, let me see what are the answers. All right. Jamil, my friend Jamil writes, we'll see the adaptation of patient and then decide to prescribe. Yeah, Jamil says that, I'll just check what is he accepting on the trial to check. He's asking, Bhupesh is asking a very smart question. What is the unaided vision for distance? Great question, Bhupesh. What is the unaided vision for distance? So Bhupesh, he was able to read somewhere around 6 by 12 part without any glasses, without any correction. The optometrist tried to do a fogging. He tried to see what maximum he can accept, and then that it has come to this particular prescription. But it was a very smart question, Bhupesh. Perfect question. Uh, Rosemary LB, she writes, preferably a lesser correction for distance with better binocular vision and better correction or increased addition for clear vision. Very nice. Bhupesh writes, minimum and maximum vision. Yeah, minimum plus and maximum vision. Nice, Bhupesh. Thank you for answering. Roshan writes, dilated examination to rule out nuclear sclerosis. Thank you, Roshan. So Roshan feels that, there is always a possibility of some, nuclear sclerosis. So there's sudden change in the prescription and all that. William writes a very nice detailed answer. He writes no full correction, explain the refraction acceptance, make him understand the sudden magnification and distance less correction as perfect, and binocular acceptance. Very nice, William. Binocular acceptance is something very important. Yes, prescribe full RX. It is maximum plus for maximum vision. Sakina writes maximum plus for maximum vision and give a minimum add. Okay. Patient need for prescription power, binocular balancing. I think you guys are, amazing, really. Some very detailed, specific answers. Hussein has written something. I really appreciate all your answers. And I must say that today I'm at a platform where you have audiences who are extremely knowledgeable, and you guys are not only knowledgeable in terms of theory, but even in terms of practice. So this is an excellent way of assessing a patient, because a lot of times we try to follow at specifically at the level of dispensing table what is written in the prescription card and whatever just happened in the clinical room or in the clinical trial room. And we tend to neglect a lot of other conditions, like the visual demands of the patients, like the previous glass prescription of the patient, like the work environment of the patient. The fact that this patient wears a plus 1.5 reading glasses, and he's happily managing his life with those 1.5 reader glasses. The only reason he has walked into the clinic is because his son wants, him to buy a good pair of glasses. Otherwise, he was happily managing everything. The fact that he has a 1.75 diopters hyperopia, there is a possibility that he has some nuclear sclerosis and all other possibilities of changing lenses. But he accepts this part. He accepts an addition of 1.5. Now, what happened in this case is what I'll tell you. The optician made a pair of high-end premium progressive addition lenses uh, uh, on the basis of this prescription. This was a prescription for, it was elsewhere. Somebody, he went to and, He went to an eye clinic or a hospital, some eye test done, this is done. The vision is 6/6, N6. The patient is very happy by the eye test. By the way, he was very happy and impressed by the way the kind of eye test was done. So that he has no complaints with the eye test as such. He comes to a dispensing table, and so because the son wants to make a good pair of glasses for his son, the dispensing optician or the person or salesperson or whoever it is, he made a pair of very high-end, premium, high technology progressive addition lenses with this prescription 1.75 both eyes, an addition of 1.5, and I can tell you that uncle was extremely unhappy, and his son was even more unhappy because his intentions were to help his father, but he was extremely unhappy with the new glass made, and we had to go for the troubleshoot, and then we obviously assessed, and there were a lot of lessons that we learned from this particular troubleshoot, and like mentioned by a lot of you, and I have been reading the chat, from all of you, and uh, some wonderful things that you all have written, like about the not giving a full correction. Somebody said that I will see what he is accepting, using a trial frame for it and other things. So let me share what we actually learned from this particular case, in this particular uh, story. So what were the lessons that we learned from the story? The first lesson that we learned from the story was consider visual demands along with age while prescribing an addition. It is extremely crucial. One of the biggest mistakes new graduates or somebody who has just started a practice they do is, with regards to prescribing and addition power, is to prescribe solely on the basis of patient's age without considering what the patient's complaints and visual demands are. So it's very necessary that you consider the visual demands. Is he does the patient need any distance correction? Does he have any distance complaints? Does he require a glass for distance otherwise? Does the patient use computer? Okay, and if it's a computer, is it a desktop? Is it a laptop? Is it a tablet? A lot of things differ. Earlier, probably 10 years back, we would talk about distance power, intermediate area, and near area. There is a new addition to it, which we call it as immediate area. And when you say immediate area, what is an immediate area? An immediate area is something within your near range. So, for example, the laptop is at, let's say, 90 centimeters. The desktop is at 90 centimeters. The laptop is even a little more clearer. If I'm using an iPad, the iPad is even a little more clearer. The phone is a little more clear, probably about 40, 45 centimeters. Now, if I'm using a watch to measure my fitness, parameters, the watch I hold is probably 25 to 30 centimeters. So you can see that within my near range of activities, there are multiple distances, and we call it as an immediate vision. So you need to identify what are the visual demands. You need to identify the work environment of the patient before giving any pair of glasses. So consider the PGP and the work environment. This is also extremely crucial, that you should consider what is the earlier glass prescription, especially in this case, in this particular case study, you saw that this uncle has been managing his entire routine with a 1.5 diopter reading glasses. And then would it be ideal to give him a new pair of glasses with a sudden change of almost a huge plus for near and distance? Will he be able to adjust to it? Is one big question. So keep in mind that this patient was using 1.5 diopters glasses earlier. So the third thing that was learned from this particular case study is to trial frame versus dynamic experience of wearing glasses. So this is very crucial, that sometimes in a trial room or in a testing room, the eye test that we do is within that range of Snellen's drum, and we believe and we assume that when the patient walks out of his room, his life and his visual requirements are also similar to the trial room. But that may not be the case. There's a very high possibility that I might not use glasses for distance. In my daily routine, I might not do any activity as such where I really have to look at distance viewing, and my entire requirement is more of an intermediate and near. So then, would it be ideal to give a pair of progressive addition lenses suddenly to somebody who was wearing a single vision reading glasses in that case? So this was another lesson that we learned. The fourth lesson that we learned was that be a little cautious when you are giving progressive addition lenses for first time wearers who have never used glasses for distance. This is another thing that you may have a lot of patients who are first time progressive addition lens wearers. They have never used glasses for distance. So they are always, they never use glasses in the first case either. They just managed everything without a pair of glasses, or they used a pair of reading glasses only to read. So the moment they would walk, they would do any other activity, they would just keep it out. Now, for such patients, especially above 45 and 50, who are so much used to with a certain kind of lifestyle, obviously these patients are used to with a certain kind of a distant, distant in terms of their reading distance. They are used to with more of an intermediate work environment. For such patients, it is also ideal, and it would be smarter to consider an indoor progressive addition. Sometimes it's a very good option for such patients who are averse reading glass users, and they don't really feel the need of a glass to be worn every time. An indoor progressive addition lens design, an occupational progressive is what we call it. It is available in all brands. It is also an ideal, it's also a smarter choice. And I'm saying that it's a smart choice because we solved this patient's problem in a way that what we had done is instead of doing the entire correction, what we did was we did not give that 1.75 because we identified that his unaided vision for distance was almost 6 by 12 part or so. We used a trial frame. We did a binocular, we don't call it as binocular balancing. Binocular balancing is a different test altogether in refraction, but we tried to check his vision binocularly because he has never worn glasses for distance. And we found that he was pretty well sorted for his distance with a +1 in both eyes. So we tried to use minimum plus for both for distance and for near. We gave an addition of almost 1.25. He was extremely happy for near because he was managing his near work with a 1.5 diopter reading glass. So this total combination was somewhere around 2.25. And we made a pair of home and office Nikon occupational lenses. These are indoor progressives. And he's using them in his office. Like he used his reading glasses earlier. He's using an intermediate indoor progressives. And he seems to be sorted and happy with the new pair of glasses. Anyways, this cannot be the only solution to it. I'm sure that if this patient had walked into a clinic where you were there, I'm sure you would have come up with a different solution. But I felt this is crucial that refraction at times, and selecting the correct category of the lens that is to be given to the patient is a crucial part in giving glasses and also while troubleshooting the patients. Let me move on to the next part and let me tell you the systematic troubleshooting approach. Okay, probably if we all have to just jot down, 1, 2, 3, 4, what are the things that you would want to do? And the sequence can vary. I'm sure somebody may say that, no, I would want to first adjust the frame and then do a refraction. Somebody may say, no, I'll do the refraction first and then I will talk about other things. So you may have different, sort of approaches. But let me tell you what I think from my side of what is the approach. So the approach is to listen, ask, and understand the company. This is a basic thing. This is a basic thing. A troubleshooting is problem solving. Anybody who comes to you with a problem, not only for glasses, for anything else, the first thing you do is to listen to that person. Instead of you telling what the solution and coming to conclusions, you listen to the patient, what the patient is saying, ask relevant questions. So what do you mean ask relevant questions? This happens to me very often. Patients come to me saying that I'm not comfortable with the glasses. And you say, what is the problem, sir? What is happening? I'm just not comfortable. Just not happy with the glasses. Now, I'm not happy with the glasses. I'm not comfortable with the glasses. Does not serve my purpose. I don't conclude anything out of it. So I want to know, is the distance vision a problem? Is there a problem with the near vision? Is there a problem when you read your laptop? Or is there a problem that you read something and it is too narrow? It's too small. The area is too small. So I want to ask correct questions. So I ask question like, is there a problem when you watch television? Is there any problem when you read a book? What is the problem, sir? Can you tell me in detail? Can you tell me a little more about what is the exact concern that you're having in the classes? Ask relevant questions and understand the companies. Just spend some time with the patient understanding the companies. Once you know you've understood the complaint, then of course you confirm the prescription, you check you check whether whatever was ordered is there in the glasses. This happens a lot of times with single vision lenses, that the lenses ordered were -5 with -2 at 90 degrees, and the lenses are made at -5 with -2 at 70 degrees or, or whatever. I mean, it could be any other problem. This can happen. We are all humans, and there is always a possibility that in terms of human errors, the glasses are not made as per the prescription. So check whether the glasses are made as per the prescription. The first thing, check for the PDs, fitting heights in case of your progressive addition lenses. Confirm the refraction again. Like I said, for this patient, for the case study that we discussed, we had to confirm that we had to redo the refraction, and then you decide whether there's a problem in the power of the glasses, there's a problem in the PD, fitting height, or the lens power itself. Check the frame and lens fitting. Check whether the frame fits well. Check whether the pantoscopic tail, the bridge, the way it fits on the bridge, the distance of the glasses from the face is right. All these things. You check this, and then at the end, you also check whether there is a need to change the lens design of the coating. Now, in terms of lens design, like we said, the case study that we discussed, we changed his design from a progressive addition lens to an indoor progressive addition lens. Sometimes you may have to, you may just realize that the progressive addition lens, which the patient is wearing, is of a certain premium category of technology, and the new glasses which he bought was a basic, a category or a basic kind of a progressive addition, an entrant level progressive addition lens. And so he's comparing the vision and the experience of glasses with his, what was there in that with this. So you might have to upgrade the design in the lens. So this is the basic approach that you should have when you are solving problems for patients with complaints. You may alter it, or you may have your own. The idea is to have some approach or systematic way of solving your patient's problems. So let me share now what we're going to have a quick, I'm going to share some 5 virtual cases with you. And, so far you guys have been amazing, just phenomenal answers in the chat box. I'm going to ask some virtual questions to you, some live cases to be discussed with you. And I would expect you all to write the answers, to write the solution. What would you do? This is the problem. What is your solution to it? And when we talk about troubleshooting progressive addition lens is the biggest pain point for a lot of us. So let me go ahead with the first case. I had a patient. Patient comes to the store or a clinic or your eye hospital. He says that I'm not comfortable with the glasses, and you start asking questions. The question you ask is, what is the problem, sir? Which zone of vision is the concern? The patient says that near vision is a problem. I can't see well. When I'm reading a book, when I'm reading my mobile and all, I have a problem. And you ask the next question, you ask, what is the problem? Patient says that the problem is that the near vision area is narrow. With the glasses which I was using earlier, and he gets the glasses, he says, see, these glasses are good. When I wear this, I can read. It has a the reading area is much comparatively wider as compared to the new glasses which you have to do. Okay, so this is his complaint, is the patient's complaint. Can the patient find a solution by moving their head or eyewear? The patient says yes. If I push my glasses back, when I'm reading this is not clear, but when I take my glasses back, it is a little more clear. I feel it is better when I push my glasses back. What would you do to solve this problem? Can you write? You need to write that in your chat box. Yeah, you guys can go ahead and you can write that in your chat box. Monica writes, it is a short. Okay, Monica writes, you give him a short corridor. Give him a short corridor, progressive addition. Any other answers? I'm sure there must be many other answers. I hope you've understood the case. Okay, some Akhil writes, IPD measurements. Nani writes, vertex distance. Excellent. Faisal writes, adjust the pantoscopic tilt. Okay, nice. Faisal, that's really nice. Somebody writes, Nani writes correction. Monica writes pantoscopic tilt. Rakesh writes, increase the fitting height and with some pantoscopic tilt. Okay. I will suggest to change the frame. Sudipto Banerjee says that just change the frame, sir. Don't waste your time, just change the frame. Corridor should increase and panto tilt. Pratiksha writes, thank you, Pratiksha. Amazing. Adjust notepads and give a pantoscopic tilt. Adaptation issue. Anita writes, adaptation issue is finding it difficult. Temple adjustments, vertex distance. Recommended by customized lens. Okay, great. Thank you, guys. Really, thank you for your answers. Let me share the answer with you because we have 4 more questions to answer. So, great. If you see that the patient said that I have a problem with near, he said, what we asked, what is the problem, sir? Can you please tell me in detail what exactly is it blurred? Do you see things? Now he says that it is narrow. I can read, but it's a little, the area, reading area is too narrow. And then you ask that, can you try and adjust the frame? Or you say, take it a bit closer, take it a bit further. It does it. Said, yeah, if take it farther, it becomes more difficult. If I take the frame closer, it becomes better, which means that if the frame is seated close to the patient's face in this particular patient, uh, uh, he finds it better. And this can happen a lot of times, that specifically when patients or customers select frames which sit a little too far away from their face, they become a little too much aware about the peripheral aberrations. They start complaining of the narrow reading area. So a good idea for this patient, because he also said that if I take it close, it is better, is to reduce the vortex distance, is to ensure that the frame can be taken. You take the frame. Sorry. Yeah, can I see? Yeah. You take the frame closer, you reduce the vortex distance. And this is possible if the frame is a metal frame. If it is a metal frame, you can make some adjustments in the nose pad and ensure that the frame is seated close to the patient's face, and then he'll be comfortable. But if the frame is an acetate frame, you can't really do much in order to change the vortex distance. You might have to change the frame. The other thing is also possible that sometimes he's wearing a much better design of progressive addition lens in his old glasses, and what he's bought or what he's purchased from you is a very basic design. So he's comparing his experience with the earlier design, and now he's not happy with this. So there could be multiple reasons, but in this particular case, because he suggested that if I take it closer, things are better. The simplest way is to reduce the vortex distance. Also, in addition to that, if you can give a little pantoscopic tilt, when you give a pantoscopic tilt, the lens goes a little closer to the patient's eyes, and it automatically helps his near vision area. It becomes a little more broadened as compared to Hussein says, also, can we adjust some? Yes, you can do a lot of things, Hussein. But and thank you guys for answering this. Let me go to the second case now. Harshada, how much time do I have?
You can continue, Prashant. No worries.
I
Yeah.
have time, right?
Yeah.
Next 10 to 15 moments. So we have the second case, and I want you to again write your answers in the chat box as fast as possible. Okay, again, the second patient comes to me. Say, I ask, what is the problem, sir? Says, I'm not happy, but distance vision is not clear. When I'm watching television, I'm not happy. The glasses are not great. I want to watch the India-Bangladesh match. It's not happening. It doesn't look great. And what is the concern? He says, there's a problem with the peripheral vision. I'm watching, but the moment I move my head, I feel there's something it's not comfortable here. Something is not right. Peripheral vision is not right. The early glasses were better. What alterations can be done to the frame fit, considering that the prescription, the PD, and the fitting height is correct? Okay, you have checked the prescription, it is fine. The PD is correct. The fitting height is also correct. What else can be done? What else can be done? Quickly, write down in the chat box, whatever, use your creative brains in your expertise and experience. And decrease the wrap. Monica writes, decrease the wrap. Amazing, Monica. Superb. You guys are just amazing. Facial wrap. Hussein writes facial wrap. Yeah, some more answers, please. Somebody else. Nose pad adjustment. Chahat, right? Nose pad adjustment. Thank you, Chahat, for participating and giving the answer. Better design. Nirupa writes, give them a better design. Yeah, just give them a good design of lens against them. We may change the design of the lens. Rakesh writes, yes. Great. We may change the design of the lens, and that is always a possibility that the third option, you have to change something. But before you change, can we try something? Can we really try something with the frame that may help, and save us a change of lens? Yes. What is it that we can try? And there are two things again. The moment you find that the patient says that I'm a little more aware about the periphery of the lens, the reading area is narrow and all sorts of things. One very good thing, one basic thing that always helps is reducing the vortex. The closer the lens and the frame is to your face, the lesser the aberrations the patient is aware of. The wider the central area that becomes. So you will try this first before changing the lens. Of course, if it doesn't work, you will always have to give a a better lens design in that case. But changing the wrap angle, just ensuring that the frame sits a little more closer to the frame. Sometimes the patient has opted for a frame with a wrap angle, and he's not used to with such kinds of frames. In that situations, also just reducing that wrap angle also helps a lot. And if nothing helps, then of course you need to change the lens with a better design, because you just identified that everything else seems to be right. Let us go to the third case. Which zone of vision is the concern? You ask your patient that, what is the problem, sir? Everything is a problem, he says. I can't see anything clearly. Yes. Distance is a problem, near is a problem. You just didn't do a good job. I'm not happy with what you've done. And you ask, what is the concern, sir? Can you tell me what is the problem? I'm just not comfortable. I don't know what is the problem, but I'm just not. The moment I wear, it's not clear. I'm not happy. So can the patient find a solution by moving their head or eyewear? You ask some more relevant question. You ask, is it better if you turn your head to the right or left? Does it become a little more clear? And the patient says, no, whatever I do, it is not clear. You just didn't give me a good lens. I'm not happy with what you've done. What do you suggest? What do you do? What do you do? What is the first thing you would want to check? What do you do? Check corridor length in before glasses. We'll repeat refraction IPD. Thank you, Akhil. Thank you so much. Sometimes when nothing seems to be a problem, no? I mean, when the IPD is right, everything else you've checked and nothing seems to be a problem. It's always, good to check the prescription. And I find this a lot of times. Whenever I call somebody, if you call somebody, you tell them this has happened and I'm doing this. They say, why didn't you change the pantoscopic tilt? Or everybody have their own favorite answers. And you ask them any question on any problem with the glasses, they will come with that one thing. They feel that the one thing and everything is So in some cases, specifically in cases like this, when the lens is a good lens, the design is good, the PD is right, the fitting height is right, everything is right. You really want to check the prescription. The patient is saying that nothing is clear. You want to check the prescription and go ahead. Okay. Fourth, I'm going to have one more question asked, and then I won't ask any more questions. So which zone of vision is the concern? Near vision. This patient says my near vision is a concern. What is the concern? The near vision is blurred. Can the patient find a solution by moving their head or eyewear? Yes. It is better if I see through the intermediate zone. You will have patients saying like this, that the glasses are fine, but my near vision is not clear. If I slightly hold my reading material a little ahead, up, and try to see from the center of the glasses, it is better. So when I use the rear reading area, it's not clear. When I use the intermediate area, it is better. It is better when I use the other part of the lens, the midway part of the lens. Okay, overcorrected for near, perfect. This is perfect. It is an high addition. Okay, so the lens addition is too high. The prescription that was given was that we overcorrected the addition part, so he's a little more uncomfortable with that particular. Sometimes if the corridor is not right, if the corridor that you have selected is not correct, every brand will have different kinds of corridor, and some brands will. I mean, in terms of Nikon, we have 3 corridors, and every brand will have their own different kinds of corridors. So sometimes the corridor does not match. This can also be the reason for that. Okay, let us move on to the last question. Let us move on to the last. So far, you guys have been perfect. And if this was a dispensing optics exam, everybody was 100 out of 100. I'm really impressed by the kind of answers you guys have given. The last question: which zone of vision is the concern? Patient says both distance and near. What is the concern? My vision is blurred. Can the patient find a solution by moving their head or eyewear? Yes. This time the patient says, yes, it is better if I slightly tilt my head to the right. This is better now. Okay. Or if I slightly tilt my head to the left, this is better now. Okay, this is not good, but if I slight tilt, it is better. What is the problem? What do you suggest? Anuj has written PD. Anybody else? Anybody else? I think a lot of you have written incorrect PD. Yes, thank you. Akhil, Ankita, Pratiksha. Yes, perfect. It is an incorrect PD. It's an incorrect PD. So a lot of times when you ask the right questions, this may not happen every time. This doesn't happen every time. When I go for a troubleshoot, at times the patients don't like to talk also. They are so unhappy. They're saying that I'm not happy with these glasses. You better do a good job now. I'm just not happy. And you ask questions, but can you tell them? No, I don't want to say anything. You just do a good job. So this might not be the exact scenario, but most of the times, if you ask right questions, a lot of help can be found, by just talking and understanding the patient's comments. Okay. All right. So thank you. Really, you guys have answered all the questions correctly. Quickly, I'll move on to the patient expectations and communications. First part and most important part, don't just hear, practice active listening. When you are doing a troubleshoot, when the patient is come to you, to your clinic, to your store, who's not happy with the glasses, not happy with the services, ensure that you don't just you're just not present there and scrolling your phone and then talking to him simultaneously. Don't do this. You pay complete attention to the patient, actively listen to the patient, what he's trying to say. That itself makes a lot of difference. That itself makes acknowledge, apologize if required. If you identify that, oh, the glasses, he's not happy, and you check and you find that, oh, this is the big problem in the PD. And while you are measuring the PD, there is a problem. You identify there is a problem done by you. Apologize. There's no harm in saying that, I'm sorry for, for the inconvenience you had to go through. And then educate the patient. Sometimes you also have to educate. Sometimes the problem is nothing. You just have to tell the patient that this is the progressive addition means. This is how it is to be used. There are limitations to it. Sometimes the patient comes to you saying that the glasses you gave these are thicker than the earlier glasses. You have to educate the patient that, look, sir, you selected a frame which is much larger in size and shape as compared to your own frame. No matter, the lens in both the frames is same, but because of the larger shape of the frame and, size of the frame, the thickness will be comparatively more evident. So you need to educate or just give the information to the patient and assure. When you assure, you say that, assurance is to say that, I will do the job. That you say that, don't worry, I'll solve this. Don't worry, sir. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, and I ensure you that I will solve this problem. So acknowledge, apologize if required, and educate and assure the patient that this communication has to go. This process has to be followed. Sometimes we want to educate. I've seen a lot of times patients saying that, these progressive lenses, I have a problem as from the side. And before he speaks, you start saying, no, this is how it is going to be. This is how progressive lenses are. Progressive lenses are to be used in this way and that way. You just don't listen to the person. So just let the person express his difficulty and his complaint, acknowledge it and say, oh, I understand. Say, I'm sorry for the inconvenience. And then you educate. If it is not possible to educate, then you assure that, don't worry, I'll solve this problem in whatever possible ways. Simplify the problem and communicate the plan of action. Don't over complicate the problem. If there's a problem with the PD, I like to say that, the glasses are made fantastic. The eye test was done well. The frame really looks good on your face. There's a little problem with the centration of the glasses, and I'm going to fix this problem for you, and you'll be very happy with the new glasses. So tell them the positives first. There are many other positives about the frame and the eye test and everything that was done. And then you say that there's this one problem, I'll solve this problem. So don't overcomplicate things. Communicate what you're going to do. Tell them that, this will be done in 2 days, 3 days, whatever your time is, and then communicate what and when is to be given. Let your efforts be visible to the patient. I like to measure things in front of patients. So like I take their glasses, I like to measure. I spend a good 5 to 10 minutes. I just don't act that I'm doing something. I really take my measurements, but I ensure that the patient it is visible to the patient, and he feels that something is being done to look for to solve my problem. People like post sales service to be very intentional. So you ensure that your efforts are visible to the patient. Under commit and over deliver. This is a basic fundamental. If don't say that I will do it in 1 day, sir, and you take 3 days, it will make things worse. You say I'll do it in 2 days, you do it in a day, that's fine. So be very careful of what you're saying. Have patience and be prepared for tough conversations. With troubleshooting, we all have had patients are sometimes not happy. They will give some not so good comments and not so good responses every time. The things will be difficult at times. So this is the part of the game. This is how it is. So be prepared for those tough conversations. And sometimes the most difficult thing is when the patient has lost his temper, and when the optician or the optometrist or whoever, even he has lost his temper, and then it becomes really difficult. So nobody's willing to listen. So have patience. Things will be fine. Be prepared for some tough conversation when you are going for a troubleshoot. Some quick conclusions and takeaways, and I will call it a day for today's session. Identify the likely cause. Obviously, okay, just don't conclude what's the solution. Identify whether the problem is clinical or technical. Whether there's a problem in the prescription, whether there's a problem in the PD or fitting height. When you say clinical or technical, that's what it is. Identify the problem in the lens. Whether there's a problem in the frame. Do I need to change the frame or the lens? Or is there a problem from the lab? I sent the glasses, but the glasses were not fitted correctly. The lens was not given correctly. So sometimes there is a probability, a possibility of a problem at the lab level. Okay. Uh, the other thing is patient psychology. So according to research, okay, and by research it means Google. A lot of patients come to you that patients know everything about everything. So it's very difficult to communicate and really convince patients about something. They have done all the research on Google about products. At times it is really difficult. So just be just be sure that whatever you are communicating is minimal and precise. You don't make some false promises to a patient. Know your solution. What are the solutions? The first solution is frame fit modification. What can you do if a patient comes to you with a problem? You can either alter the frame, you can take the frame a little up, down, give a pandoscopic tilt, take it closer. These are frame fit modifications. This is the one solution that you can offer. What is the second solution? You can educate the patient. You tell the patient that this is not a problem. This is an adaptation time. You take a week and you will adjust to it, sir. I have done some adjustments to the frame. You will take a week. You educate and counsel the patient. What is the third solution? To change the lens. If nothing is working, if the first two are not working, what do? You have to change the lens or the frame and give the patient a new frame or a lens according to the new findings and the solution that you have to offer. Avoid confirmation bias. Okay, what is confirmation bias? Confirmation bias means one solution fits all. That I have done 100 troubleshoots. I feel out of 160 may there was a problem in the PD. So I have this confirmation bias that all patients who come with problems have a PD problem, or all patients who come with the problem there is a prescription problem. So that don't have that. Okay, just attend and with an intention of solving somebody's problem without any biases of solutions. Okay, so there was this confirmation bias we all had in COVID. Like, there's any problem, you bring this, you put some turmeric and ginger and you drink and you'll be fine. And for a long period of time, everybody felt that anything happens in COVID, you bring this and you'll be fine. There's one solution for all. So it does not happen like that. Similarly, with glasses also, there is no one solution for all. You will have to identify the cause, have patience, and then offer your solutions. Subjective refraction tips, there are quick tips that respect the PGP. Okay, pay attention to what is the patient wearing. Sometimes new practitioners often tend to neglect this. It's very important. Somebody who's used to with a certain kind of power, especially the addition power, especially the cylindrical power, the axis part, just be a little more careful. Consider work environment, visual demands. Take your time. Refraction, take your time. Don't be in a hurry. Give your time to the patient, understand the patient. Okay. You may miss a few steps, that is fine. But any refraction which is done in a hurry, I'm not take your time, doesn't mean you take 30 minutes and 40 minutes. Take your time, is like take good 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes is a decent time to do a good refraction. Talk to the patient, understand the patient, and take your time and then you do the refraction. There is no plan D. Okay, I just met somebody and he said, "What are you going to do for this patient?" I said, I make some frame modifications and I counsel the patient. And then he said, "What is this? Is plan A, B? What is plan C?" I said, "If nothing works, I'll change the lens." And he said, "What is plan D?" I said, "There's no plan D. What do you do once you've changed the lens? What more do you expect?" But yes, some people want to know, can you refund? Some patients will ask for a refund. That, "No, I'm still not happy. You change the lens, I'm still not happy. Will you refund the money to me? I want my money refund." So there is always a mixed opinion about this. I'm sure you're all aware of this. This is a popular movie, and he says that every last penny owed to me, even if it's beyond the seven hills, I'll make sure I'll bring it back. So this is called as a fire policy. This is a fire policy or a flower policy. A fire policy is saying that I have given a pair of glasses. I have done all my work well. I am not refunding my money. I'm not refunding the money to the patient. I am willing to do whatever it takes to make him comfortable, or I'm not giving back the money. And there is another policy which a lot of my practitioner friends say that, out of 1,000 glasses we gave, 100 glasses will have some or the other problem. And out of those 100 glasses, it will have 10 of them who will ask for a refund. We just give it back and we focus on the other 990. I don't know. So whichever policy you follow, whatever aligns with your, business personality and your strategy, it is good to go. I'm nobody to comment on this, but this is where we close the thing. Is that sometimes after doing everything you've done, the solution is not there. You may have to return or refund the money if you want. Learn frame adjustment. This is the thing for all of you. That's a lot of us don't know how to adjust frames. Nose pads, alignments, pandoscopic tail, basic things is I think we all should be aware of. We should learn this. I think every time we have these sessions for optometrists, opticians, salespeople, business owners, sometimes we neglect a very key part of our industry, which is the people who are working in the lab, people who cut the glasses, align the frames, extremely skilled workforce. And there is a lot for us to learn from them. Unfortunately, they can't make PPTs, but their work is extremely difficult. If you want to learn them, you have to actually stand beside them, observe them, and watch what they're doing. Extremely skilled work. We need to learn this. Everybody should learn this because this is one of the solutions that you can offer for your glasses. Thank you so much. I want to thank Harshada Kare from Optometry Confederation of India for giving me this opportunity to speak on this topic. I want to thank Madhur Gupta from Optician India for arranging, for collaborating and arranging this excellent session. I want to thank all the participants for all your interactions and participation in my today's presentation. And thank you guys. Thank you for being patient enough to listen to me. It was really wonderful to present this topic in front of all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prashant, for a
Thanks.
wonderful. And it covered all sort of common complaints, and the most importantly, you gave solutions to them as well. And yeah, amazing cases. You gave
Yeah.
us a systematic troubleshooting approach. That was wonderful. And all these tips and tricks are important, but nobody teaches in the college. And I must say, lovely audience today. Very interactive, wonderful answers we've got from them. So any questions, if you have, please type it in the chat box. We can take few questions. If not, I would like to ask one question, Prashant. You've answered, you've explained most of them, but I would like to know that how can we help customers, understand the adjustment period, basically, when they first start wearing the new glasses. We just tell them that you'll get adjust to it, you'll get adjust to it, but how can we make them understand that it is important and you be patient for that?
Yeah, I think Harshada, most experienced opticians and experienced practitioners, they seem to have a script. A lot of them, they actually have a script. Like I've seen, so in industry, you have opticians following a script of 1 week. They say that you take a week for you to adjust with the glasses, and this is on the base of their experience of over a period of years of dispensing glasses. Some of them use a script of 2 weeks. Nobody within that a week or or 2 weeks is what they always tell the patients that these are new glasses. You have been used to with a certain kind of glass. The shape is different, the material is different, so you're going to take at least a week to adjust to it. If it's a progressive additional lens, they say you're going to take 2 weeks to adjust to it. Specifically with the progressive additional lens, if it's a first time wearer, there is a proper protocol in there's a proper protocol which is to be given. I think we'll have to bring somebody.
Yeah.
This is Mrutyunjay Ghosh. Mrutyunjay Ghosh, somebody is to mute. If you can mute this guy. Yeah. Yeah, thanks.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, so if it's a new wearer, if it's a new progressive additional lens wearer, there are a certain kind of things that you want to say that you want to suggest the patient to wear these lenses when he is seated and working on his basic things like working on a computer, writing and reading something, and not suddenly start wearing it while driving or moving around. Probably after a week he can do that. Then when he's using his glasses, you need to explain him what is a distance area, what is the best experiences I've had is when I've been working with Baliwala and movie, where I found that they would not remove those markings on the glasses. They would just put it on the patient's face and they tell them, this is how the frame is, and this is how the lens is. This is the area for distant, this is the area for intermediate, this is the area for near. And of course, we are going to rub this off, but the lens is designed in such a way that it will work well when you use these areas for those specific tasks. So you cannot read a book like this when you're sleeping and trying to read. You may not be able to read. This is
Right.
meant for ideal, method of activities. And every optician, if you see, there is a script. These days, there are excellent videos available. I've seen opticians sharing videos, like you share videos of how to use contact lenses. There are videos of how to use a progressive additional lens for first time wearers. So multiple possibilities of communicating it to the patient. But the idea and the moral is that we should have a protocol. We are all professionals, and dispensing glasses is highly skilled work, and we should have a protocol for things that we do. And as long as we follow the basics, things are good. And despite of doing everything right, there is always a possibility that you don't know what went wrong. A lot of times there are problems, and I say I don't know. Then you don't know. After this call, somebody may call me, and I have this problem. I say that I don't know what's the problem or what's the solution, because sometimes everything is right, still there is a problem. So just
Right.
keep that in mind.
That's right. Yeah. Thank you so much. Okay, sir, can you send a PDF of this meeting? Mr. Nilesh will be uploading this session on the YouTube channel of OCI. So that time you can check it on it. Okay, we have question, Prashant. Can sometime the progressive addition lenses troubleshooting be related with the lens? 1 second. Uh, I lost the question. 1 second. There are so many comments in this.
That can sometimes the progressive addition lens
Related
troubleshooting
with the lens
be
aberration.
with the
Yes.
lens. Yes, yes. Sometimes it can also be related to the lens. As I said, that sometimes there could be a genuine problem in the lens. This is a very good question. There was a troubleshooting probably a year back. And I was not able to solve this problem. Now, the patient was also not willing to give up. That he also persisted. No, you solve this problem. I am not going anywhere. You solve. And I went to a teacher of mine and I asked him that, sir, I've done everything. I've changed the pantoscopic tail. The prescription is perfect. The lenses are perfect, centered. Done everything. I've counseled the patient, and the patient is not happy. It's just not happy. I'm not able to know what to do. And he said that I asked him, what is the answer? What do you say? And he said, I don't know. And I said, what do you mean you don't know? I've come to you to ask the solution. I'm not able to. He said, just change the lens. And I said, what to change? What give the same lens again? The PD is right, everything. He said, just change the lens. He said, sometimes there is a possibility there is some problem in the lens which no one can identify. Everything is automated, but still every automated machine is still being operated by humans. So there is that 0.0001 possibility of some error that can happen. And he said that nothing, just change the lens with the same parameters. And you see how I changed it, and the patient was comfortable. I still not figured out how, but so yes, that is a possibility, Rakesh, that there could be some aberrations in the lens, and it might not be visible to you, it might not be visible to somebody in the lab, but the patient is experiencing that. So that is a possibility. Sometimes there could be aberration in the patient's eyes also. There's something which is an ophthalmic that needs an ophthalmic intervention, which the patient might connect with his glasses and his form of correction. And maybe the glasses or any sort of lens may not be the solution for that. So in that case, you might have to acknowledge that I'm sorry, I can't do anything with this. This is got to do with the other part of your ophthalmic intervention. Okay,
That's right.
thanks. Thank you,
Okay, we'll
Rakesh.
take one more last question from Sudipto Banerjee. He's asking then, patients with the system works, to whom can we prescribe PAL? Okay, I mean, he means that those who are working on the computer, other than them, whom can we prescribe the progressive addition?
Uh, yeah. So if I have understood this question correctly, the question is that who can you prescribe progressive additional lenses apart from people who are wearing
Yeah,
using computers now, right? Is that the question? Yeah.
that's
So
right.
there's a very simple theory for this. I feel anybody whom you could prescribe a pair of bifocals can be prescribed a pair of progressive additional lenses. As simple as that. It's a good question I asked to somebody very senior. He said, "How do I decide where I can give a bifocal and where I can give a progressive?" He said that, Prashant, this is not 1990s. We are in the 2000s. We are the kind of lenses making. Any patient whom you feel is a good ideal patient for bifocals, today, at least today, I can say that you can fit a pair of progressive additional lenses, except for some kids where you give those bifocals for a refractive accommodative esopropia, where you want that segment bifocal and all sort of things. But otherwise, anybody and everybody can wear a pair of progressive additional lenses, specifically because of the need of immediate vision. So today, my father is 74 and he uses a laptop, he has an iPad, he has a phone, he uses a fitness watch. So even within that range of 1 meter to 3 meter, he watches television at 3 meters. He goes out for a walk. So today, the kind of visual activities we are doing, you need a lens which is actively uh, providing all these areas. Yes, it is always good to have more than one pair of glasses. I always encourage practitioners to say that this is your progressive additional lens, and this is another lens which I am prescribing you for your computer work. If you are fond of reading, for your hobbies or for your home, for your office, there are some indoor lenses which can be meant for home. Why can't we start dispensing glasses like people have started dispensing clothes and shoes? If I was not doing this official session, I would have not been wearing this formal shirt. I would have worn something else. Probably the shoes I wear for my morning walk or jog, I don't wear those. I wear different shoes. Why can't we think and really move on to a method of having a dispensing lenses according to the patient's lifestyle? I mean, that will add a lot of value to our practice. That will add a lot of expertise. So we definitely can do that.
That's right. Thank you so much. Yes, Vaishu, we can take one more last question. Please type in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and you can ask the question. Okay, occupational lenses are the
Yeah.
indoor valves. Yeah.
Yes. Occupational lenses. Basically, occupational lenses are, we call it as indoor progressive additional lenses because they are either meant for office or they are meant for home. Let's say you have a housewife who does not, who again is not, who is an e-metro for far, does not need a heavy prescription for far, but she's at home, she cooks food, she looks after, she looks after her child's education, the studies, a lot of, multiple activities that a homemaker has to do at home, and prefers to wear glasses only inside the home. So you would make a pair of indoor, progressive additional lenses where the focus will be more on the intermediate area so that she can watch television, she can help her child into studies, cook food, do her hobbies. When she's going out, she might not need a pair of glasses. So that is what it is. Indoor progressive additional lenses means operations. Yeah.
That's right. Okay, I'm sorry, Prashant. We'll take just last question from the optician India. So there's Sanjay Mehta from the Tower Optics Chennai. He's asking this question. So a PAL wearing a lower index hard design lens is upgraded to a higher index soft PAL. So what precautions one should take?
A progressive additional lens wearer wearing a lower index hard design is upgraded to a higher index soft progressive additional lenses. What precautions one should take? Typically, with patients wearing hard designs, they are used to with a very good area for distance and extremely good area for near and a limited area for intermediate. Usually, the hard design by definition works like that. That a hard design would have an excellent distance area. It would have an excellent near vision area, but the intermediate area would be compromised. Hard design are like distant relative of bifocals. So, but you may have some people who have that kind of a lifestyle where their distant and near is much more important than an intermediate design. And in that case, when you're immediately shifting to somebody to a different kind of a design, where if a soft design is such where the distance is compromised and the near is compromised as compared to his earlier design, he might not be very comfortable. So there are some designs in every brand. you will have these days designs which are semi-soft, or where there is a philosophy of hard for distance and soft for near, where you also pay an attention for the distance area. You don't compromise in the distance area just because it is software design. As long as that is done, I think things should be fine. Software designs are much easier to adapt otherwise, so things should be fine. As far as higher end index, progressive addition lenses are concerned, as long as the coating is taken care by, because sometimes with higher index lenses, sometimes if somebody is so much used to with wearing a lower index, suddenly even higher index, sometimes higher index lenses, that patients may be a little more aware about the chromatic aberrations and the sort of reflection that. So if you give a good anti-reflection coating, things should be fine. I don't see any real reason that the patient should have. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Prashant, and thank you for sharing your knowledge and for taking the time to answer the common questions what we get in day-to-day practice. And it was a truly great learning experience, and I'm sure many attendees are looking forward to applying the concepts in in practice as discussed. I would also like to thank our media partner, Optician India. Let me just share my screen. So Optician India magazine is our media partner for this particular session. And it's basically a magazine which is your ultimate guide to all things optical. Here is a QR code. You can scan the QR code and get the subscription or visit their website for the subscription details. So thank you so much. Thank you all the attendees. Just to update you all, OCI has started lifetime membership now. So you can go on our website and apply for the lifetime membership and attend the paid webinars also. SIG groups are all free to attend, and you can join them on Facebook. Thank you, Prashant, once again for being here with us.
Thank you so
Thank
much, Arshada. Thank you, everybody. Thanks a lot.
you, everybody. Yes.